LBS, what's up, buddy? Thanks for coming in. I actually just got done doing a Whatnot show and haven't even had a chance to pull all the prices down off the thing. I just popped over and popped on real quick. So I sold 2 walkers and 2 Benjis, and this 2021 West Point Annex MS-70 Eagle key date. After fees and promotions, I cleared $478. No, I used the cards as like, I used the cards as the point as to what it was that they won and then who won it, and I send it with them. I use graphics cards like this. Other cards I have different graphics. I just got the Jaws ones actually just the other day. It was cool because my kids like to frequent the dollar store. And I saw those packs there, and they're $1.25 a piece. They're playing cards to get with, so they're cool to play with. But you know, I bought a bunch of graphics cards. I got some Peanuts cards, and I got some SpongeBob, and the Superman cards I had before, a couple of Batman ones, and it's all vintage style, so it's pretty cool. What are you up to, man? You know, LBS, I'd like to be on one day, if you're ever down with having me. Did you welcome in? The Saturday morning would be okay. You mean like, I don't know, evening would probably work better for me because I work. But we can set up something. I'd love to be on your thing. That'd be cool. Jew74, what's up? Welcome in. I don't see you in chat for some reason. Say something, Jew. There you are. Doing great. How are you? So yeah, LBS, that wasn't a bad show. I mean, I did have other things that I did give out. You know, like I gave out a couple of 1/10 ounce rounds. Some fractional that I don't, you know, I'm not a fractional guy. So whatever fractional I have lying around, that's not constitutional. Hi, Carolyn. I can see you. Of course I can see you. How are you? I haven't talked to you in a while. Carolyn is a good friend of mine. She came over from Whatnot. She's a mod of mine over there. She helps me control chat. Doug Harding, what's up? So yeah, it wasn't a bad take tonight. I ran a couple of shows and a couple of times today. I run a show at 10:30 my time. I ran 3 separate breaks, and of those 3 breaks, I cleared $387, and I gave out quite a bit of silver and quite a bit of other stuff. With the thing that I did tonight, one ASE and 4 halves, and I cleared so much more. So it was a good deal. It was a good day today on Whatnot. You didn't get good news. You were taken from your heart appointment to the ER. No choice. Well, Carolyn, if that's what needed to happen, then that's what needed to happen. I hate to say it, but they know better. And I think that if they felt that it was bad enough to where they needed to move you right away, then it was bad enough. So um, take it in stride, honey. So LBS, I hit 500 subs. I'm sorry, honey. I hit 500 subs. I'm gonna be doing a big goal at the end of the month. Somebody's gonna get a 500 sub humble stacker pour from FG. I had 2 of them made. It's an ounce and a half of silver. I live in Washington. I'm giving away a Morgan as well. Chasing Cheddar with Curtis. He is a gold prospector and stacker now. He's sending up an ounce of silver to add to the GA. I've got a pay dirt bag that's got some gold in it. Yes, Washington State. Oh, he does great on Pores, man. He does. And so does Cartier Silver. Like Cartier Silver poured me this. And he poured me this because I was digging my pay dirt because I prospect as well. We were doing pay dirts, me and my daughter in the living room. And I was digging the pay dirt out with this. And he says, hey, I'll pour that out of silver. So I sent it to him. And this is what he came up with. No, I do not speak French. But he just does excellent work. Every pourer that I've worked with does excellent work. And anything that they've poured, they wouldn't send me if they wouldn't keep it themselves. So, yeah, Cartier Silver, man. He's really good at what he does, too. I'm sorry, Jew, that your English is small. And I know what you mean by that. You have a very limited vocabulary. I get it. And I'm talking like you understand me most of my words. I'll talk slower. You went through Vancouver, Washington a couple of days ago. LBS, are you in Washington? Or on the West Coast? Were the 205 and the 5 split? Nice. Oh, you're all good. I live in Everett, right outside of Seattle. Well, not right outside, but outside of Seattle. Right off I-5. Well, not right off, but close enough to where it's just a couple blocks away. I look out my window and I see the Everett Navy base. So how was everybody's weekend? You grew up in Paulsville? That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I look out my kitchen window and I look at the Everett Navy base. I have beautiful sunsets. I live over by Everett High. Carolyn, you were watching football? That's cool. I watched some football earlier today. Watched some football yesterday. Caught up on some games that I didn't watch yesterday today. Watched some football yesterday. Well, I don't know what I did that was a good job, but I appreciate you. So LBS, I picked up some pretty big hits lately. I picked this up over on Whatnot. Played in a guy's room. 2 spins at $10 and 1 at 5. And I walked out with this, a piece dollar, a half ounce silver round. Yes, this is gold. Half ounce silver round, 2 1/10 ounces, and 2 mercury dimes for $25 in this guy's room. I got lucky a couple of times over there recently, actually. What's going on, Raspberry? I got this for $62. Yep, Bob's chilling like a villain, like always. He got his silver clutch to his chest. This one is, yes, Jew. Oh, I appreciate that. I don't get paid until Wednesday, so I can't send your stuff out till then. But I did get a bunch of stuff in. I got a bunch of swag in from AAA as well today for my 500 sub Gibby. So I got a lot of stuff that's going to be up for grabs. Thank you for all the hearts. It's 5:32 a.m. there right now. That's nuts. You're getting ready for work, aren't you? That's okay. My buddy Woodsy is in Australia. Oh, you're disabled. I'm sorry. I didn't know that. I'm sorry. You do homeschool for your kids? So you have to be up that early anyways. Oh, you do work at home? No, that's cool. Okay, well, I did. I didn't mean to if that's the case, but I did. But he is 18 hours ahead of us, so he should be getting off work here any minute. Or close to it. Yeah, so it's almost like I could ask him what the lotto numbers are, but it wouldn't matter any. LBS, you still in the room? LBS, you still here? Carolyn is a friend of mine that came over from Whatnot. Oh, those are silver bars. But yeah, I'm giving away one of them at the end of the month. Maybe you'll win it, Raspberry. This is one of my first ones that I had made. This thing's a honker. It weighs like 2.5 ounces. He didn't stamp it. I did have him antique it, but this is all silver. That'll look good on your desk. Well, that's not the one I'm giving away. I'm giving away one that looks like this, and it comes with a stand. So you will have one that if you win, can go on your desk. Yes, it's silver. This one weighs like 1.58. The one I'm giving away weighs 1.48. So it'll actually come with a stand that looks like this, and it'll sit in there like this. Just like that. And it'll come in a case. And there's the stand. Why the lighthouses? Well, I've always liked lighthouses. And I like lighthouses. My dad died a couple years ago, and he was my my best friend. And so I just lighthouses remind me of him, and I just thought that it would be cool to have a lighthouse. That's why. My dad was my light, and lighthouses give light. And so lighthouses remind me of him. So yeah, that's why. It's on all of my stacker stuff too. Like other than my channel sticker, everything else is as lighthouses. It's okay. Cancer kills everyone. Even when it doesn't, it still has a chance to. That's the crazy thing about cancer. 4 months to the day from the day he was diagnosed till the day he died. It was a crazy ride. I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. Yes, it is. My dad had bladder cancer that moved to his back and then started eating his bone, his vertebrae. And that's how it was actually detected because he went into the hospital for back pains. Yeah, it sucks when you lose somebody super close to you. Yeah, so is my dad. I'll be honest with you, Raspberry. I knew it was going to be a bitch. He knew it was going to be a bitch the minute we heard the diagnosis and we decided to start treatment, right? He and my mom, my sister, we all knew what was going to happen and how rough it was going to be. But I'll be honest with you. The hardest part out of that whole thing, the hardest part out of that whole thing is after my mom left one time, my dad looked right at me. My dad looked right at me and he said, "Hey, boy." And he started crying. He says, "I don't want to die." And I looked right at him and I'm like, "Dad, I know. I know, man. I know. I don't want you to die either. Neither does mom. Nobody wants you to die. You got a lot of people in this world that love you." The hardest part was when he looked at me and started crying. Yeah, Carolyn, I hope you need to know, Carolyn, whether you decide to do something at that point is on you, but you need to know what's going on. If not for yourself, do it for your kids. You need to know, though. What? Okay, can I ask you a question, Carolyn? Now, the only reason I'm asking this is because I care about you. But what purpose does not knowing serve? Knowing do? I don't understand. Okay, so listen, would you rather live your life without the fear or rather live your life without the pain? You don't, unless you actually know what it is. I understand what you're saying, though. I get it. I just, Jeffrey, what's going on, brother? You know, I was watching your short earlier, and I realized I got to get some more stickers in, but you don't have any of my stickers. You don't have a sticker. I got to get more poker chips in. You don't have any poker chips. You don't have any of my stuff. So I got to make sure I get you something. So when I get stuff in, I'm going to message you. I got to get you some stuff. My favorite coin. My favorite coin. Let's talk about that. I like coins with character. So I really do like Morgans because they do have a lot of character. You know, they've got history as well. But my favorite coin of all that I own has got to probably be this one. Nick, what's up, brother? This would probably be one of my favorite coins because it is an AU. This is a nice one too. Now I'd say that the pre-33 wins. Yeah, Donna's a killer, bro. The pre-33 wins, but this is a close second. It was probably made in 1884 with an 1885 date. Well, I mean, I'm sure it was, it was almost uncirculated with an AU. So I'm sure it hit somebody's pocket at one time. But I didn't buy it for its numismatic value. I bought it for its gold value. But it is a pre-33. It is one of my oldest coins. I have a couple of Morgans that are older than this. Yes. This is a United States $5 Eagle. $18.85. Yes, it is. Now this is AU, so this is still this right here. I'll put that right there for a second. I'm going to show you something. That is an AU, right? So all these coins that I'm going to show you right now are older and grade better. So all of these that say MS, they're mint state. And this is an 1883 mint state Morgan, super toner. There's a chance, man. You never know where, though. Oh, this is an 1886. But this is a mint state 62. This is an 1884. This is a Mint State 63. So all of these coins are older and grade higher. You know, but I have a couple of other Morgans that are graded like this one here. This is an MS64. It's from 21. It's just not older than that other one. And I got this almost uncirculated right here. AU58 is from 1881. You can see the wear on this coin though. So that other one is still way better than this one. I like to metal detect too, Jeffrey. Me and my daughter actually brought it up to me when we were panning gold this last Sunday. She said, Dad, we need to go do some metal detecting. And I'm like, yeah, you're right, we do. Get out and get some detecting done. What'd you notice, Raspberry? So you're saying your coins are the same on both sides? So yeah, that's one thing about our coins is this is a 40% silver Kennedy. When you flip it over, it's right side up. Yeah, your coins flip better sideways. Here. I don't mind the coin. Good night, Carolyn. Please take care. I'll message you tomorrow. I got a couple of pieces in today. You guys want to see them? Here, check this out. I got a copper round in. It's just fine. It's just a little buffalo round. Another piece of copper. I got some halves. Half Aztec. What's up, Cartier? I got a half Sunshine Minton. DC colorized. I'm not a big colorized fan, but I got it for really cheap, so that wasn't bad. It's another ounce of silver. Let me drop it on the ground real quick, because that's where things always end up here, right on the floor. I picked up this 2015 West Point MS69 Silver Eagle. If that one wasn't sealed in an assay like it is, I'd probably strip the color off. But I don't think it's lifted. It doesn't feel lifted. So it looks like it's just painted on. So it would probably just be a flat round at that point. But I do like the outburst. Just like me now. Awesome, Jeffrey. I don't have the barrier reef though. I want that one. The wolf with the glowing eyes, that's cool too. I do have the pirate one though. The Captain Blackheart, I'm pretty sure that's what that is. And I got this Ruin 2024 Rue. And I think all coins, other than US coins, you flip sideways. Well, most coins from Great Britain or from anything that have royalty on them. I got a couple of Rues. This is my first slapped one. I'm not a big, I mean, honestly, I don't. Yeah, I don't think any of his coins have a crown on them. That's awesome, Jeffrey. But not a bad pickup. I got a whole bunch of coins in that guy's room. So I scored there. That's still a really great pickup. $25, and I walked out with a 25 $5 Eagle. Can't complain about that. It was just a good hit. But yeah, not a big colorized fan, but I thought it was cool. It's DC. I'm more of a Marvel fan, but DC is coming with coins. And the obverse is pretty nice. But see, even this one you turn sideways. And this is Samoa. I think that's going to be pretty much that way with any. Like Panda. Yeah, Panda, you turn sideways. Maple, you turn sideways. And that's ours, you flip up. Yeah. We just like to be different. We're also not on the metric system, Raspberry. How does that make sense? Tim, what's going on? But like I said, I like older coins because they have character. So all those Morgans I have, and I love toned silver. It's like when silver starts turning colors, like this one. I love it when it does that. Well, the newer ones or the first ones weren't all that great. and most of them were designed after your guys's or from Europe, anyways. As you know, when it's toned, I like the coloring. This is greens and blues and reds and oranges in it, and some purple. It's just really nice. It's a super toner. A lot of our coins say that, or something along those lines. Our dollar bills do. All of them saying God we trust. But yeah, God bless America. But I do like older coins too. 71 proof Ike. I have a really nice 78 proof. That I really like. 1983. Let me think. I probably do have something from 1983. Why? Is that your birth year? Well, I'm sure I could find some for you, Raspberry. Ikes are cool, Cartier. You know that. Well, that would be cool. That would be cool. I have a lot of 83. I'm looking for an 83. Give me a second. I'm still looking. I do have some older coins, but most of my coins are my coins because they're coins, but I'm really just looking for silver. The fact that I have a whole stack of proof Kennedys here that I already looked through to make sure I don't have any 03s or 83s is odd for me. I don't normally have stuff like this. No, I'll look for something for you. I just not like it's challenge accepted or anything, but no, it's I just have a bunch of coins everywhere. Actually, I cleaned up quite a bit today. 76, 2001. I'll find you some. So what's everybody up to on their Monday night? I got to give it to you. And I honestly, if I knew it was going to be nice, which is why I had no problem giving it up as a givey for Chad and the success in his room. But honestly, if I'd have known it was going to be that nice, I'd have chosen a different piece of metal. Yeah, that's always cool. Those are just significant dates. Yeah, that thing is pretty sick, Nick. It was a nice score. An 89, really? 274, 89. No 83s right now, sir. I don't know what to tell you. I'll keep looking, but not right here on my desk. I can't wait for you to start pouring, Cartier. Dude, you're welcome, man. World of Warcraft, World of Warship Legends had enough rage from the game, thus the headache you can. I hear you on the looking at coins, because I'd be doing that right now, because Raspberry's got me on a mission, and she's probably sitting there laughing at me. Yes, you mentally need to start pouring again, bro. It is a must. Humble said so. You need the normalcy again. Get back into your passion. Now, there's a pretty cool Ike. My birth year. You're looking for something from 1983, and I know I have something. I'm looking through coins trying to find something for her. It's just not readily available. '83 is the year you got married, Nick. That's pretty cool. Oh, Bob, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? Get your shit straight. Or figure it out, man. That's right. Better figure your shit out. Yeah, well, Bob has one job and one job only. That's to hold that 50-cent piece up and not let it hit the ground. And right now, he has failed me every stream. Bob's a slacker. He's going to get replaced if he doesn't step it up. Oh, I'm sure I have an 83 floating around here somewhere too. I'm just not finding it like I should be able to. But I'm looking. Raspberry's got me on a mission. My biggest coin? Dollar value wise or size wise? Well, diameter wise, the biggest coin I have in my stock right now will be the kangaroo because it's the fattest, roundest one that they make. But I do have some 2-ounce rounds that are rather large. And do you mean round or coin? Because coin has a dollar amount, round has no dollar amount. So if you're talking about just metal and it being round or not, the 5-ounce rounds I have will be the biggest ones. Smallest would be, let me grab it, hold on a second. It was right here, hold on a second. Smallest would be probably a widow's mite. I'd say that would be my smallest one. I'm trying to find one so I can show you. It's actually smaller than a widow's mite. The smallest coin on me. Smallest coin on me would be this one. And this is Chad's coin. This is a $1 US coin. Now I'm trying to figure out if it's bigger or smaller than the actual widow's mite. It actually looks, yeah, it's bigger than the widow's mite. So this thing right here is probably the smallest coin I have. Yep, it's bigger than that. But they do have coins that are smaller than this. Like the world's smallest gold coin is really small. Really, really small. Oh yeah, it's tiny. Like half a grain of salt or half a grain of rice sized. You ask as many questions as you want. Yeah, she definitely paid her taxes, didn't she? Yeah, this one's pretty small. Medieval bronze Numis. This one's going to Cartier. This one actually, you can see some pretty decent definition on it. This one's actually in pretty good shape, Cartier. Yeah, I mean, Raspberry, ask as many questions as you want. If I have the answer, I'll give it to you. Trust me. If I don't, I'll struggle to find it. 72 Ike. Yeah, ask as many questions as you want. Ooh, so close. 1985. Bummer. Look at this coin, though. Isn't that weird? Almost like it's a map of their country. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like a map. I had another one I opened up earlier. It's like that, too. We got these the other day, too. You check this out. It's called a Not So Broke Penny. Never go broke. Keep me and you'll never go broke. 1953. Weedy. Check these out. These are Dad's root beer bottle caps. Scrunched around a weedy. This is a 37. 37. It should be a 37 also. Oh, I'm 35. Oh, those were pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, it's a cool gimmick idea. It's what his room does. So, I don't know why I won't focus on this coin. Oh, they are both 37s. I would hope they would have been. So, yeah, that's cool. It's a shame ASEs weren't made in 83 because I have a first year of release 86 because that's the first year they were made. Or I would say that's the number you're looking for. Yeah, see, Widow's Mites actually got kind of big. To 400 AD. This thing's been around the block. Dime or something. Yeah, really old. But I think Cartier probably has ones that are older. Cartier collects ancients, so I'm sure he's got some pretty old stuff. If you're looking for age, he will be the one that will have the coins that are older than anything I got. Although I do have some kind of older stuff, but he has way older stuff, I'm sure. I don't know though. I got this bag of ancients here. I got those 3 bags of ancients here. I don't know what date they date from, but I do have those here. That might give you a run for your money, Cartier, but I'm not sure. I don't know anything about them. That's funny. My youngest collects like me. Donna, you're not old. I think we all feel old, Raspberry. When you got to roll out of bed to get out sometimes, you're definitely feeling old. Nick, you're not old. I got this, though. I got this recently. I got this from actually my buddy. In 1883, the very first V-nickels they came out with didn't have an amount on them. I want this to show. It's not showing it, but it doesn't have the 5 cents underneath the V. And actually, if you read this, dishonest old-timers gold-plated these and passed them off as $5 gold pieces, since their size was similar. The next year, it actually activated the curtailed when the world cents came out. And this is all underneath. Oh, there we go. There's a date. Come on, damn it. It's going to irritate me. Let's see if that helps. No, that does help. Let's go. So right there, it doesn't say 5 cents under it. Now, see if I can find another V nickel so I can show you. Oh, I got one right here. I can show you. This one here says 5 cents. Nick, my knees pop every day too, brother. Every day. There are some days there's not enough ibuprofen to help with the discomfort, but you know, still gotta get up and get her going. Snap, crackle, and crickety pop. I love this pour. Cartier poured this. Night, Donna. Bob, getting drunk again. You just sit your ass up. Straighten out your shit, Bob. Night, Donna. Oh my god. So irritating. There you go, the alien head over the alien head. No, Nick's in the U.S. I wish he was closer, though. If you don't straighten up, I need to rehome him. Yeah, that might be a repercussion to him not getting his act straight, huh, Nick? I don't know. He's becoming family now, Nick. He's like the ornery teenager. That, I know. I had a hard time finding 1983 too. It's like she chose the one date I didn't have. No, I'm sure I have something somewhere. Yes, that is a super cool pour, Nick. That is a super cool pour. What year is this? Oh man, another 1985. That's a silver commemorative right there. Looks like it's a little burnished actually, with some gizzy. Thanks for coming in, Raspberry. I'll keep an eye out on an 83 for you, though. What date is that? $1988. This is kind of a cool commemorative coin too. Gaming token. Yeah, I'll keep an eye out also. We'll find something, I guarantee it. Something will be found. Tim, collecting and stacking and just knowing about currency, like collecting's different than stacking, right? Collecting, certain things have numismatic value, but honestly, if our dollar crashes to nothingness, the numismatic value of a coin doesn't matter anymore. That's why if you're going to get into coins, get into ones that have precious metals in them, like Barber dimes, Barber quarters, Morgans, things like that, is what I would recommend. But you got a pretty small little stack going, but it's a nice base stack and it's easy to add to, and you've got so many different directions you can go with what you've got. You've got multiple different directions you can go. So right, it's just going to be a matter of deciding what your passion is, and then picking up the football and running with it. But so, for instance, I saw that you had two sets of 4 1-gram bars, right? Of silver. I saw that. I saw a couple of copper rounds. I saw one of these. No 1-ounce pieces, but I'm going to fix that for you, which I already told you I was going to. So I'm going to fix that for you. But, so really, what I would do if I were you is, if you want to stick with numismatic value stuff and you want to still stack, go with something like this. Or go with something that won't work. Go with something like this. So it'll have the numismatic value, right? It'll have the precious metals value because it's 90% silver, and you're crushing both at the same time. I tell all new stackers that you should have a lot of, maybe not a huge amount, but you should definitely have probably, I'd say, two tubes of each denomination, whether it be Walkers, whether it be Kennedys, whether it be Benjis, doesn't matter. Quarters and dimes, whether they're Rosies or whether they're Mercs. Okay? Now, if you want to go numismatic value, you'll find more numismatic value in a Mercury than you will in most Rosies, only because of how old they are. And if you have any kind of LCS around you, I do, multiple ones, I can go in, post up a chair, and cherry pick through any of the coins they have and take whatever I want. If you build the right relationship, you can do the same thing. So then you could knock out your stacking and your numismatic coin value looking for stuff, both in the same breath. Does that make sense? Because then you're not focusing on one, you're focusing on both. Killing two birds with one stone. And then what you can do at that point is still have multiple directions you can take your stacking or collecting, because you're already working on your base stack for the stacking and you're working on your numismatic value for the coins. So you're killing two birds with one stone as a start. And that's a great way to start, in my opinion. And do yourself a favor. Do yourself a huge favor, okay? Starting off stacking. Stacking 101. Get your metals for as cheap as you possibly can, right? As cheap as you possibly can. Look at that. 1983 Canadian nickel. I found one. Oh shit, it's an 85. Never mind. I got lucky. Do yourself a favor, bro. Don't buy stuff like this because it's silver. Don't buy this because it's silver. Not yet. You buy stuff like this when you get bored. And if that's what I was meaning, if you have the right LCS, I can go in and grab non-slicks. He won't just grab 14 of them out of the box and give them to me. He'll let me cherry pick him, and he'll let me grab non-slicks. So don't get caught in this trap right away. Don't do it. These are excellent coins. Okay? They're both proofs. They both have the jelly bean. Okay? They're both CACs. 59 and 57. Okay? But they're just dimes. At the end of the day, it's just a dime. Because unless you're going to sell it to a collector that is missing it out of his pack, you're not going to get what you invest in it. So do yourself and your pocket a favor. Yes, like I'm saying, when you're starting out, you don't start out buying stuff like this. You start out buying stuff like this. Okay? Hold on a second, I got more. You know, you buy a cold Morgan, right? Something your LCS is only going to charge you like $35 for. You buy something like this, right? Because this adds to your stack. And these are heavy. Because $1.40 constitutional equals an ounce of silver, right? So anytime you can get a Morgan, well, this is a separate round, excuse me. Is that not a Morgan? Yes, $1.40 of any 90% silver is an ounce of silver. $1.40 of any constitutional. But you can buy something like this and still add to the stack aggressively because it adds weight. You know, and if you're going to buy silver rounds, don't buy sovereign right now. You're going to pay more of a premium on it. I mean, it's kind of a mixed bag. That advice can go a couple of different ways. But when you're adding to your base stack, most people have bars and rounds for base stacks. Yes, the Morgan is the #1 faked coin out there, Tim. But you add to your base stack. This is an ounce of silver. You can get this because some people don't like toning. So you can get this in a bargain bin in a lot of cases. You can get a colorized piece of silver. Let's say this was silver. You get a colorized piece of silver in a bargain bin because some people don't like colorized silver. And if the guy's not moving it, he's going to move it for less. So anytime you go into a coin shop or anywhere like that, you check the bargain bin first, bro. Always, because you're adding to your base stack. And always check Coinstar. No matter what, you always check Coinstar. I know I'm cramming a lot of information down your throat. A lot of do's and don'ts and advice, but, you know, I just don't want you to learn the wrong mistake when I can help you avoid it by telling you what I've learned from already. Yes, buy what you can. Whether it be ounce for ounce, whether it be... but what I'm trying to get him at is you can get an ounce round for $2 to $3 less if you don't buy sovereign. Don't buy silver nickels. Don't get caught in that. Don't buy 10% Mexican silver rounds. This is cool to have to show off every once in a while, but at the end of the day, it's only 35% and it takes up too much space. I have this to show off, but it's the only one I have. It's a 40% Kennedy. I don't stack them because they take up too much space. But if this is what you can get at the time, then this is what you get at the time. Because $10 of this is 3 point something ounces of silver. So if you put together a roll of 40%, you have 3 ounces of silver. Now, I don't stack 40%, like I said, because it takes up too much space. But you're starting out. Stack what you can where you can. I say it all the time. It's on the back of my poker chip. Stack what you can where you can. And dude, like I was saying the other night, unless you're buying from a bullion store on eBay, dude, it's just best to stay away from it. I don't collect fractional. I don't really stack fractional silver. Nick, the premium's too high. You're paying too much for too little, in my opinion. But if that's where you got, that's where you got to start. Just, I avoid eBay unless I'm buying from a bullion location on there because they do that. I've bought from Apex on eBay. I bought from JD or SD Bullion on eBay. But when you click on the sale, it brings you right to their site. You know, you're not buying from some asshole in fucking bumfuck wherever that's selling you this bullshit instead of what it's supposed to be. Now, I bought these at $38 a piece, so it was right where I would want to buy it at. The price was great. The coins looked great. But you get them home at the end of the day and they don't fucking check out. They're too light, they're too thin, and they're fake. So learn from my mistakes, my friend. Learn from my mistakes. Stay away from Morgans on eBay, especially. You know, be careful. You get something super shiny, it's got to be fake. Like this one. Copy is hidden really well. Now I'm sure this is plated. It's not magnetic. But if the deal is too good to be true, I can tell you with almost 90% certainty, it is too good to be true. I know, right, Enmarsh? And Tim, you should have 3 base essential things for any stacker or coin collector. What are those things? We went over it the other night. Do you remember? Remember what I was talking about? Yeah, that was too good to be true. This was a throw-in for me. Somebody threw this in off of Whatnot as a, here, you played hard, I'm going to give you something cool, but it's really not cool. It's garbage to me. You know, it doesn't do anything. But if you don't look, man, they're not going to show you that picture. They're going to show you the shiny front. It's going to be an obscured picture of the back. I do, along with all this other shit that I picked up off of eBay. All these. These actually meet weight, bro. These are 31.1. But look at the finish. They called it a business strike. It's like it got a matte finish to it. No, copper. It's actually starting to come through on some of the lettering. It's not even plated. It's got like a stupid, like weird paint coat over it. Right? 5 of these for 125 bucks. Yeah, I know, man. You got a screaming deal on all that. So, like I said, Tim, if the deal's too good to be true, it is. No, I have not drilled one of those yet. I should, though, actually. I got a drill. I could probably do it right now. You know? But the 3 things you need, a magnet, right? A magnet, a scale, and a pocket pinger. Just a beautiful coin in a nice display case. Had 2 of them. Really shiny. Year of the Tiger. Reverse looking proofs. Garbage. Nice looking eagle. 2024. Looks legit. Super thin though. Super magnetic. Right? So make sure you got a magnet, a scale, and a pocket pinger. You can get a pocket pinger for like $4 on Amazon. Well, like I said, the only time I buy from eBay is if it's like through SD Bullion or Apex or something, because they do sell on there. But that's the only time I buy from there. I don't buy my metals from Walmart. People buy their metals from Walmart sometimes because bullion dealers sell on Walmart.com. I'm not going to do that. Walmart doesn't verify their buyers enough. You're tired? That's cool, bro. But you'll find your passion. You'll find out which way you want to go with things. And you can find base bars. A micrometer, yeah. You can find base bars and base rounds that don't look bad, that are decent priced, that are cool to look at, bro. You can. I guarantee it because I've done it. Like this right here. This is just a buffalo round. Reverse proof buffalo round. I paid the same price as any other round on the bullion shop. I don't think they guarantee on third parties. And this, bro, this is just a 10-ounce bar from Silver Gold Bull. I paid spot for this. They have a deal. They run one time. You can get a 10-ounce bar at spot, and this is the bar you get. Check that out. Build your wealth in ounces. If that's not a stacker's motto, I don't know what is. And that's a sick looking bar. Just a really good looking bar. I love that saying too. How appropriate on a 10-ounce bar. But stack what you can where you can, whether it's an ounce a week, whether it's 3 times a week, it doesn't matter. As long as you're adding to the stack, bro. Just got to add to the stack. My silver journey will tell you all day long. He'll try to buy more than one, but he'll buy at least 1 ounce a week. He puts at least one piece of silver towards the stack a week. And I can't say he does it wrong. You know, I added 4 ounces of silver to my stack today. Now, I sold silver today too. For instance, like this pile of silver right here. This pile of silver. this Annex MS-70 Eagle and 4 halves, two Benjis and 2 Walkers, plus a bunch of other fill stuff. Over on Whatnot, man, I cleared $487 by selling this much metal. Now I'm going to take those proceeds, buy another coin like this one, replenish the 4 that I sold. I'll send you a Jaws there. That's okay, Nick. That's where you stack and build and trade up. That's how I get to the gold. You stack, build, and trade up. That's the whole. That's what you do as a stacker, man. Stack, build, trade up. But $487 I cleared. So Cartier, I got that whole thing figured out that I had a problem with. But slow and steady, Nick. That's right, slow and steady. Oh my God, Bob, you're fired. Bob is fired. He's done. I'm done with Bob. He's pissing me off. That's how I've been adding to my stack recently. Is I take the proceeds that I make on Whatnot, take all that extra money, and buy more metal. And these are all things that I won. These aren't things I actually seek out. I do have a tube of AACs I'm finishing up and a monster box I'm working on. And I have a couple of guard boxes that I'm working on too for 50-cent pieces and dimes. But that's just adding to my stack. And you can get there too. Because I'll tell you, man, once you fill one tube, you look to fill another one. And then you fill your second tube, you look to fill another one. And by the end of the day, you got tubes full of silver. The only reason I have the slabs that I do is I've won them. All the slabs that I have, I've won on Whatnot. I don't actively seek slabs at all. Young girl from The Last Man Standing is the main character. Very little dialogue was different. I bet probably a good Class B movie. Give me a second, guys. I gotta go over some safety notes. Give me a second here. But in Marsh, the only slab that I actively sought out and purchased, for anything other than a Whatnot show is, I'm getting it right now. Give me a second here. Is this koala. This is the only coin in a slab that I have actively sought out and purchased. I paid $55 for it. I know it's still just an ounce of silver at the end of the day, but it's a sick ass koala, and I wanted it. And that's where That's where when you get bored, Tim, that's where something like this comes into play. That's when you step up and do something like this, but you don't do it all the time. You do it to add some flavor, to say that you did something special for yourself, but then you go back to your base stuff. I know I'm not stacking for Tim. Tim's stacking for himself. He's just going to find his passion. It's just stuff that I do. Nothing I give is advice for anything other than just me. I told him the same thing. Buy cheap rounds. Create your base stack. Tim and I have been talking for a long time. Tim's got my cell phone. We talk all the time. He sends me pictures. We're getting him there. Just don't get caught doing slabs and things that you don't need to spend money on. That's right, because you have to be over $200 to get free shipping and other things like that. I go into my LCS. I call my LCS, and he knows who I am when he hears my voice. I tell him I want this much of whatever, and he puts it aside for me. He takes care of me. My LCS is the man. He helps me do what I need to do for as low as possible. I brag about having an LCS relationship all the time, and I talk about it all the time. Because you need somebody to offload your shit to as well. Ounces of silver Libertods. If you go with Libertods, you probably will pay a higher premium than you will other ones if you go Sovereign, because they have a limited run every year and the premium's a lot higher. This is a gold-plated Libby, but people stack them. They're just too rich for my blood. That does suck, Cartier. I have one that's about 8 miles from me that I will drive to. That's the one I have the best relationship with. But I was at one today having that dollar coin looked at and tested. I videotaped or I recorded it, him XRM in it, and then telling me what the compound is. It's mainly brass. It's got some copper, got some lead, and something else in it too. But Tim, at the end of the day, it is your stack, and how you build it is up to you. I would just stay away from high premium stuff right now until you build yourself a nice base stack. Where are you at, Ed Marsh? Michigan, yeah. I'm pretty sure there. Are there any around you? I mean, you probably have the same kind of mix that Cartier does, right? Jewelry stores that dabble in coins, but no coin stores that dabble in metals. Well, that's the thing. You got to come in and look at it a few times and show interest, but not enough interest to where they think you're willing to pay what the price is. You know what I mean? Yeah, see, that's the thing. You guys got to work them, build that relationship. Maybe you can get the deal. And also, the way I would approach that too is that, okay, then what are you willing to get rid of them for? Because they're kind of highly priced at this point. Make offers. I mean, the worst they're going to say is no. And if it's been sitting on their shelf for a while and it's somebody else's goods, have them call the owner. See if they want the money for it. If they're willing to take an offer on it, why not? Throw something out. That just means negotiations have started. That just means that they're willing to take it for less. I would definitely do it, man. I would pour it. I would bring it down. I'd actually bring him a couple of them. Like, dude, hey, I just want you to know that I'm confident in your abilities to sell this thing because it's gonna sell. So here, I brought you an extra one. A buck under and a buck over. That's cool. That's not a bad deal. My LCS does. He does twice as good as that. So my LCS charges me 50 cents over spot for any ounce of silver. So last time I went in, I bought a 10-ounce bar. Spot was 365 at the time. It was 36.50 an ounce. He charged me 370, 50 cents over per ounce. Now, you can't get that deal anywhere unless you're buying straight just from somebody cost for cost. So at 50 cents over, I was all down. And I walked out with the metal in my hand same day. No extra taxes, no debit card fee. Oh, dude, I'm just telling you what I do. But I appreciate that, Nick. I do. I mean, honestly, you're going to want to get your metals for the cheapest price you possibly can. And if that means getting quarters and 50-cent pieces from the bank and coin roll hunting, that's the cheapest way to get metal right there. At that point, all it does is take your time. Yeah, I don't pay any credit card fees at all. But like I said, I built a relationship with this guy. So I went in one time, bought a couple of grams of gold and a 5 gram bar, or a 5 ounce bar. Excuse me, not a 5 gram bar. A 5 ounce bar and two ASEs. The total was $590, right? He typed 490 on his machine. and ran my card for $4.90. Now I could have walked out the door, beat up a gram of gold pretty much, because it was only charging me $1.15 for the gram of gold, and I got 2 of them. So I could have walked out the door. Well, the banks have to make the processing fee. They get charged a processing fee, so they're going to pass it on to you. That's the way it goes. But I could have walked out the door with a free gram of gold. But instead, I looked at him like, dude, you only charged me $4.90. You're supposed to charge me $5.90. That in itself, that right there, solidified my relationship with him. He will always give me the best deal he can. He will always have what I'm looking for, and if he doesn't, he'll find it for me. That's just the type of relationship you want to have. Now I could have walked out $100 up, but how long is it going to take me to make that $100 on good deals from him? I'm going to make. Yeah, I could have walked out with $100 extra, but I didn't. I told him. He ran it. He thanked me. But I know at that point, anytime I tell him what I'm looking for, or anytime I say put something aside for me, like when I bought 30 ounces of silver from him, he put that collector set aside. I was showing you guys that the other night. Did you guys get to see all the pieces before my phone stopped being stupid? But yeah, you're trying to build a relationship with a guy, right? I know, nice tatas, I know. She's sporting them good too. But you're trying to build a relationship with a guy. You have the chance to start it with honesty, or the chance to start it with dishonesty and deceit. I could have gone the other way. Could have walked out an ounce up on him, or a gram up on him of gold. But when I first introduced myself to him, I told him I had a YouTube channel. I was a stacker, and I wanted to build a relationship with him, and that I was going to come in and I was going to buy metals from him. I'm going to lay Bob down here, and but yeah, the last couple of pieces, this one here, I remember. He could have gave me blank rounds. But instead he went to his own safe and pulled this out of his own collection for me. And they're all starting to tone. See, and you all know how much I love toned silver. Copyrighted by Curtis Publishing. Yeah, they're all 5 ounces. This one's got probably some of the most toning on it. What year's the Prospector, Cartier? But they've all got the toning. They're all starting to rainbow. I can guarantee you they've never left these capsules. What's going on, AAA? Dude, I got your package, man. Oh my god, you sent so much shit. Thank you so much. Dude, I got so much stuff. I could do 5 gauze in your name. I'm not going to do that, though. But there's a lot of stuff. Thank you so much, bro. Cartier, what year is that Prospector is sending you? I carry this 85 in my pocket every day. Yes, of course. And you don't even have to do a first-time buyer's deal. JM Bullion has a 10-ounce spot deal most of the time. SD does as well. So I take advantage to new stacker packs all the time. But these are just pocket silver I carry. 2 ounces every time. What up, B? How was your stream today? You find some good coins? Nice. So most of the time you can get a 10-ounce starter pack at spot. And depending on what you're looking for, JM has a deal right now as well to where you can get 10 ounces and a gold piece, and it's $5.49. But you're probably looking at about $600, close to $600 for that pack if that's what you're looking for. But new time buyers, you can get 5 ounces of silver at Summit Metals, the one that BGM does, Bald Guy Money. I watch him every Sunday as well. But he goes through Summit Metals, and Summit Metals has a 5-ounce first-time buyer deal. Go for it, bro. But all you have to really do is any of the new or any of the, so you find bullionprices.com. They've got a good one too. Bullion.com, hero.com. All of these guys have new starter, new first-time purchaser ones. Last time I was on hero.com, I bought a gram of gold at spot. So that's a good place to add gold if you're going to do it at a gram. I mean, because look, I already told you, I have no problem stacking fractional. So all you got to do is in most of these places, type in silver starter pack, and most of them have something like that. But find bullionprices.com is a good one because they'll help you find the better prices. If I'm not mistaken, that's kind of like a Travelocity, if I'm not mistaken, right? And Marsh, or are they a dealer straight up? He must be typing something out, I'm sure. Yeah, there you go. It's a website that consolidates the best prices you can find, right? Yeah, so that's a good place that you can just go and centralize your search. All of them do. All of them have 1 ounce rounds you can buy. Just depends on how much over spot they're looking for. Because I'm going to buy it for the cheapest price I can. And keep in mind, when you see the as low as, that's if you buy like 40 or 50 or 100 pieces. So you got to tap on it and see what it actually comes out to when it gets added to your cart. Bold is good. I just like to have my metals right away. So if I can walk in the door and pick them up, I do. What are you talking about, Nick? What do you mean, what's the difference in used? Bob, you better get your shit together. Yeah, so like, look, if they have a we pick your metals for whatever we pick them for, and it costs me 50 cents less per ounce, I'm going that route, Nick. And you know what? I've had that happen multiple times. I've gotten 20 Liberty rounds. I got 20 SD bullion rounds, and when it came to the sovereign ones, because you can do a sovereign one as well, it says our pick. I got a mix between ASCs, maples, and kangaroos. It's a win-win all the way across the board. You really can't go wrong when it comes to them picking it for you. Just keep in mind the sovereigns are going to cost more. So that's why you always go with the rounds. I feel, yeah, we're all saying the same thing. Because at the end of the day, any stacker is going to want to get their metals for as cheap as possible. And if it's them picking it for me, I am plenty fine with that. You can pick it out. I don't give a shit. It's still an ounce of silver. That's all I give a fuck about, anyways. Stacking them ounces, guys. Stacking them ounces. And I know you're all the same way. Because you're all saying the same shit. And Nick, I like it when you're over on Whatnot and you're buying stuff. But keep in mind, man, when I'm playing Whatnot, I won't end up paying more than what the spot price is on whatever it is I'm bidding on. Just to let you know, Whatnot's really not a great place for stackers to start stacking on. Most of the time, it costs you too much. And I'm a stacker, so when you're in my room and you're playing hard, that's why I throw extra shit your way. That's why I throw extra shit Donna's way. Because I feel bad. If I didn't know you, I wouldn't care. But I feel bad. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. I'm down with whatever. If it's their choice and it costs me less, I'll take it, whether it's bars, rounds, their gold price. And honestly, I have no problem buying a raw ounce, a raw gram of gold opposed to one in an assay. The only reason one in an assay is more attractive for me is because I can sell it on Whatnot for more. But at the end of the day, a gram of gold is a gram of gold. Don't matter what kind of packaging's around it. So when you and Donna and everybody come in and play hard in my room, that's why I'm always throwing you extra shit, bro. Now it probably costs me. I mean, it does cost me a little more in the long run because because I'm throwing extra stuff your way. But at the end of the day, I can sleep better. And I appreciate that. I really do. Yeah, spot's fucking going up. Spot's going up, but I know it's only going up right now until Wednesday. Wednesday's going to be a crazy day for metals, you guys. It's either going to shoot up or it's going to drop because the rate hike and the jobs report. There's going to be a whole bunch of shit happening on Wednesday. Metals is going to be a crazy ride for Wednesday. This whole week's going to be weird. Whole week's going to be weird when it comes to metals because they've done nothing but go up. But there's a chance that on Wednesday, after everything, and Powell does the rate hike or the rate cut, that they're going to go up or down. But keep in mind, people are talking about a bubble. I watch Ball Guy Money. He's been going over the stats historically, and he's saying to just that keep in mind that an opportunity for people like me and Nick and Marsh and any other stacker out there, Cartier, Tim. You always buy the dip. You don't wait to see how low the dip can go, but you always buy the dip. Because the dip could last less than an hour. It could last less than a day. It could last. And you never try to time shit. Oh, that's awesome. Quarter ounces of silver is fucking badass, bro. Silver's fucking badass, man. I love silver. At $14 an ounce, in Marsh? Yeah, see, that's the thing, man, is you got to keep in mind, miners right now are up, and the fact that miners and coins and the dollar are all up right now is an anomaly. So I remember buying hard at 17, but I've been stacking for a long time, and I've stacked multiple times because my stack has saved me multiple times when I become homeless. Like, I became homeless after my brain aneurysm. I was homeless for, 9 months, working a full-time job, living out of my car. See, that's the thing in March is I'm not stacking for tomorrow. I'm not stacking for next week. I'm not even stacking for next year. I'm stacking for 10 to 15 years out. So it doesn't matter really what the price is for me because I'm still going to stack. All that matters with the price is how much I can buy at the time. Yeah, I know. You're sending what my way? You're sending what my way, Tim? What are you talking about? Oh, that's cool. You got my number. Yeah, metals are going to do something pretty crazy this week. You guys, just be prepared. Some people's assholes might pucker in a day or two. But like I said, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the silver price is for me because I'm going to stack anyways. And I stack more than what I'm past what my stacking goals were, so this is all gravy for me. But I've got a couple of big purchases coming up here, and I'm planning on. And if we get a dip, it's even more of a reason for me to do it sooner. Maybe you should send me what you were talking about, Waller. Or message me so we can talk about it. So B, I showed the whole chat this already, but I'm gonna show you this too. Check this out, bro. So there were a few fillers. Okay? There were a few fillers, right? 4, 2 Benjis, and 2 Walkers. 1 2021 West Point NX MS70. I paid $60 for a promotion with all of the fees and the small fillers and all the filler. I cleared $478, B. That's $2 for the constitutional and 1 ASE and a bunch of filler. Oh yeah, and Marsh, you said you wanted a Jaws card, huh? Email me your address. Yeah, bro. That is a total good day, right? Cannot complain about that day. And that was done in 2 hours of screaming. The one that I just the annex one. The one I sold in the game, is that the one you're talking about, Nick? I don't, but I will go over it here in a minute. So the cool thing about these Jaws cards is there's a different scene on 1 through 12. We're going to need a bigger boat. Bro, I got this deck of cards at the dollar store. At the dollar store, bro. But which one you want? I'll send you one. I picked up a whole bunch of decks of cards at the dollar store because they have a whole bunch of graphics cards there that I didn't notice until I was there. My daughters like to shop there. So I got a bunch of stuff. I got Jurassic Park. Whole bunch of cool scenes on the back of that. Dinosaurs and shit. I got some Superman cards. These ones are sick with the graphics on the back. None of these are the same. All 52 are different. Bringing it old school. Got some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Got some Peanuts. And this one's cool too. Old school Batman, baby. So yeah, dude, when I saw all these cool decks there, I bought them. Shit, what is that from? I don't know why I'm drawing a. I know what that's from. I just can't remember. But yeah, when I saw all these, I bought them. But I'll get you out a Jaws card or two. We can get Tim out some Jurassic Park cards. Donna's not in chat, is she, Nick? Alright, well, that deck of cards just might end up in her pack. You know how I do shit. It only cost me $1 anyway. It's not like it cost me much. Shit. Deck of cards makes somebody happy. $1.25. I have no problem with that. But yeah, Blaine, dude, we gotta talk, man. We gotta talk. You sent me pictures. You just gotta send me a package now. And like I said, I'll even set it up so you can sit there, watch, and co-host. That way you know what I'm doing when I'm doing it. Yeah, so I think out of what I had invested and what I cleared, yeah, like $487. But it all depends on the break and it depends on the game. I had a game earlier today, had a lot of action. I was bucking and going things. I sold 2 ounces of silver and one. Well, Curtis has another bag of stuff coming for her too. So she's gonna have. Dude, that's fine. You don't have to give up your buffaloes. I have a friend that's all about Wheaties like that too, and I hate Wheaties, but he loves them. So that's fine. Just I kind of told you what we need for a successful game. I know you'll put it together. Yeah, he's got a bag of gem pater on his way for her. Dude, she loves the fact that chat talks to her and messages her when she's panning, and she's all about it. She loves the engagement, um, and she loves panning. She wants to do it so she can do it in front of chat. And that just makes it even more exciting because she's honing in her skills without her even really knowing she's doing it. Yeah, Woodstock was probably one of my favorite characters. You got a 43 Wheatie? That's cool, bro. Wheaties are sick, Tim. Steelies are sick. I hate Wheaties. But look, I got Steelies. Got some old school ones that are in pretty good shape, actually. The copper ones are my kryptonite, man. What up, BC? Yeah, I like Steelies. You know, some Wheaties are cool. Like, I got some really nice, really old 56 Reds. You know, I got some cool stuff like that. Kodamizer, welcome in. You have 9 rolls of Steelies. Blue collar, are you getting ready for work right now? That would make sense. I guess you're in construction, right? Like gold-plated pennies. Out the door, it's 3 a.m. Damn, bro. You're a trooper, man. That's why you make the big bucks, though. This steely here. Side job? Nice. That just means it's all profit. So I have a few steelies. I don't mind steelies. I would prefer a steely over a weedy because it's a steely and they only made them for 1 year. And when you can find one that's not all fucked up, they're pretty nice. But I think this week total, I mean, it's Monday. So tailing from last week, well, this week just starting, I opened up 4 ounces of silver today. And I got more silver coming on its way tomorrow. BC, we'll see you later, bro. We'll see you tonight on Monday Night Metals. I like steelies. They're the only wheat that I actually like. Oh, it was, huh? Shit. Dude, I don't normally have Mondays off. So yeah, I'm tripping. Sorry, bro. Night, Blaine. Gotten this out of some pay dirts. And I'm pretty sure that a couple of these in here are mercury covered gold. But this silver in the raw. Dude, I like making spaghetti sauce with brats. Or just sausage in general. My dad always used Italian sausage though. Little ones, nice. How do you test what, Nick? Oh, the silver? You don't. You could scratch test it or have an XRM just the same. That's how I would test it if I were to bring it somewhere. Or you can scratch test it at home. I believe that's what they call it. Time to stick a couple of Bambis and make some breakfast sandwich. Or make some breakfast sausage. I feel you, man. I like breakfast sausages. How do you do what, Nick? Scratch test? That's a scratch stone and acid. I do. I was a produce manager. I believe the females have 4 and the males have 3. No, Nick, you can buy different acids. You can buy an acid that will test silver as well. It's been a minute, but yeah, I was a produce manager at Walmart. That was my first job right after my aneurysm. I started off as a tire tech, but once they heard that I had cash counting experience, they promoted me to the front end manager the first day. And then after being there for 6 months, I moved to produce manager. But I learned a lot as a produce manager. You learn a lot about that. Yeah, you do. People don't realize that there are female and male plants. They also don't realize that anything that has a seed in it is considered a fruit. So, like your bell pepper, since it has seeds, is considered a fruit. Your jalapeno or your um, verano or any of those other ones, they all have seeds, so they're actually considered fruits. That's true. A lot of people don't know about scallions either. That's kind of the uh, the secret that people don't know about. Scallions are mixed between an onion and a garlic, and they're excellent. Cook them down, they're great. I know I'm getting hungry talking about food. All right, well, we're pushing 3 hours, guys. We got 11 people up in here still. Right on. But I'm going to call it. Getting time for me to lay down. I got to go to work tomorrow. Boss isn't there. I'm there. You go pick some peppers? That's what I'm talking about. But I'm going to hit it, guys. Night, Tim. I'll see you later, bro. And Marsh, email me your address. All right, later, guys. I'll see you all later. Cartier, brother, have a good night. And Marsh, have a good night. Tim, have a good night. B, have a good night. If you're still here, I think you went to bed. I'll see you all later. Night, Nick. AAA, you're still here lurking in the background. It's 11 o'clock for you, bro. Have a good night.